Hello and welcome back, Escape Club readers. My name is Krista, and today I'm going to talk about Vortex by Julie Cross. This is book 2 in the Tempest series. It was released by St. Martin's Griffin, January 15th of 2013. Jackson Meyer has thrown himself into his role as an agent for Tempest, the shadowy division of the CIA that handles all time-related threats. Despite his heartbreak of losing the love of his life, Jackson has proved himself to be an excellent agent. However, after an accident run-in with Holly, the girl he altered history to save, Jackson is once again reminded of what he's lost. And when IWAL, an opposing division of the CIA, emerges, Jackson and his fellow agents not only find themselves under attack, but Jackson begins to discover that the world around him has changed, and someone knows about his erased relationship with Holly, putting both their lives at risk all over again. So book 1, Tempest, was focused on this relationship between Jackson and Holly, and eventually he travels back through time. In the second book, there is still a real focus on Holly. I think that the whole series is going to focus on this relationship between Jackson and Holly. The book starts off with Jackson in training with the CIA. Jackson really gets to know his group very well. I think that the friendship that eventually develops between all of them it really drives the story. Main idea of this group is to find out more about the enemies of time and IWAL. They really have to go through a lot of battles in this book. There's constant struggle throughout the first half of the book when they are training with the CIA and these relationships that are building with their teammates. So eventually, as Jackson discovers more about his family, and there is some misleading information about the enemies of time and IWAL, and he really wants to find these answers to what is going on. And it's really fast-paced in the beginning. A lot of stuff is happening, and then it does kind of break down for a while and gets a little bit slower as the relationships build and some of the questions are getting answered and the look into Jackson's family goes a little bit deeper. But then it really builds up again in the end of the book with a lot of action and some actual time travel, which in this book we don't see until later on in the story. I enjoyed this book a lot more than the first one. I felt that the character of Jackson becomes a lot more developed. We get the whole background of his family, and we really get some answers about what is going on with the enemies of time. It's really what a sequel was meant to be, building on all of the plot points. The relationship is still kind of there, though. He is constantly thinking about Holly and saying, what if? And, she seems to be always what is first on his mind. Then we get to learn more about his family, which I really enjoyed learning about, and it gets really complex for a while. I really think that this story did a good job building onto the whole plot line of who the enemies of time are, this development of IWAL. The CIA, I still think's a little shady. I'm like, what is going on with them? Why are there's these certain rules that just don't quite fit what they should be training, in my opinion, of course. So when Holly does make a new appearance in this book, at first I was a little nervous because of this role that she's playing now, and his obsession with her. He loves her so much that I feel that it kind of hinders him when it comes to his decision making. That really does come through in this story as well, and I think that was really good to show, because it really is difficult when you have enemies of having close relationships. And so I was really glad to see that issue brought up in this story, because the way that Jackson loves Holly so much, no matter what, it is really touching. but at times it feels, especially in the first book, it felt really overwhelming, and unhealthy, even for me. This boy is so obsessed, and I think I became to appreciate it a little bit more. So they learn a lot of stuff, training with the CIA. There's dismantling bombs. There are um, mountain climbing tasks that they have to perform, and they really get to know their teammates. And I really enjoy the interaction between all the teammates and their different characteristics and how they interacted with each other. But yet, when it came down to it, they were a team and had to depend on each other. And slowly, as the story continues, we learn more about them and they open up more. And um, it was really nice to have the variation of different character stories, with Jackson still being, of course, the main focus of the story, but to have these side characters come in with a different story to tell, and how they interacted with Jackson and their new duties as CIA agents. So it was a really nice balance between the characters. Main focus of the story is Jackson's family history and the connection to the time travelers. There's constant danger in the story. You don't know who to trust. You don't know where it's going to go. In the end, it's really shocking and powerful moment. I really liked how everything came together, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next in this series. Thank you for stopping by the Escape Club today, and I will see you later.